Welcome to Jagma Talks. Today my revision class is on Sale of Goods Act 1930. Now, as you know, my revision classes are for CA, CMA, graduation and law students. Today I am going to discuss a revision class on Sale of Goods Act. Now, coming to the definition of sale, that is contract of sale. A contract of sale of goods is a contract whereby the seller transfers or agrees to transfer the property in goods to the buyer for a price. That is the definition of contract of sale. Next comes, what is the difference between sale and agreement to sell? Where under a contract of sale, the property in the goods is transferred from the seller to the buyer, the contract is called a sale. But where the transfer of the property in the goods is to take place at a future time or subject to conditions thereafter to be fulfilled in the contract is called an agreement to sell. An agreement to sell becomes a sale when the time elapses or the conditions are fulfilled subject to which the property in the goods is to be transferred. This is the basic difference between sale and agreement to sell. Now, the other definition that we must have an idea, that is contract of sale how made. Contract of sale how it is made. A contract of sale is made by an offer to buy or sell goods for a price and the acceptance of such offer. It may provide for the immediate delivery of the goods or immediate payment of the price or both, or for the delivery or payment by installment, or that the delivery or payment or both shall be postponed. It may be made in writing or by word of mouth, partly in writing or partly in word of mouth, or may be implied from the conduct of the parties. So I will tell you at the end of this class what is implied or implied contract. Next is what is the essential element of Sale of Goods Act, that is subject matter of sale. So subject matter of sale is goods. Goods form the subject of a contract of sale. They mean every kind of movable property other than actionable claims or money, and includes stock and shares, growing crops, grass, things attached to or forming part of the land which are agreed to be served before the sale or under the contract of sale. Goods may be existing goods. Existing goods means goods which are owned or possessed by the seller at the time of sale. These goods may be specific, ascertained or unascertained. Future goods which the seller does not possess at the time of contract and which will be acquired, manufactured or produced by him at some future date. Next comes that is contingency goods. Goods, the acquisition of which by the seller depends upon a contingency which may or may not happen. So there are three types of goods in a Sale of Goods Act. That is, number one is existing goods, future goods, contingency goods. Now you are very clear the definition of all these three goods. Now another essential element of Sale of Goods Act, that is price. The price is a contract of sale must be expressed in money. It may be fixed by contract itself or may be left to be fixed at an agreed manner or may be determined from the course of dealing between the parties, where the price is to be determined in accordance with these provisions. The buyer must pay the seller a reasonable price. So these are all the basic or essential elements of a Sale of Goods Act 1930. Now, while we are discussing this Indian Contract Act, we are coming across one definition, that is implied contracts. What do you mean by implied contracts? An implied contract is one which is inferred from the acts or conduct of the parties or course of the dealings between them. So this is the definition of implied contract. I will make you clear with some examples what are implied contracts. Implied contracts, one example is when you get into a public bus, it is implied that you will pay for the ticket. After getting into the bus, you will not have a dispute with the conductor that why are you asking me the ticket charges. So once you are getting into that bus, that means it is implied that you will pay to the ticket, pay for the ticket. So this is called implied contract. Similarly, when you are going to a restaurant, so you are taking food, and after taking food, you cannot dispute with the owner that I will not pay for the food. And you cannot say to the owner that why didn't you ask the money when I entered into the hotel? Because it is an implied contract. When you are going to the restaurant, it is implied that you will eat food and you will pay the money. So these are all the contracts. Although there are nothing, we have not entered any specific agreement or contract with these people. But however, it is because of the circumstances or the conduct or the behavior of the people, those who are entering into the agreement, they have to pay for the price. This type of agreements are called implied contracts. Thank you. Please subscribe.